Again, we want to thank you for joining us. Please continue to enjoy your meal as we get started with the program. I would like to start by introducing our head table. From my left, your right, Holden Murray, the Vice Chairman of the St. Mary Chamber of Commerce, Beth Chasson, our President, myself, Brady Burrell, the Chairman, and Mrs. Christy Zeringue, the President and CEO of COLAB, and our guest speaker today. At this time, I would like to thank our elected officials and special guests for taking their time out of their busy schedules to attend today's luncheon. With the St. Mary Parish Clerk of Court's office, we have Chief Deputy Michelle Bork. With the St. Mary Parish School Board, we have Superintendent Dr. Buffy Fagenbush. School Board members Gwenzy Brent and Rhonda Dennis, Deborah Jones, and Andrew Mancuso. And with the City of Patterson, the Economic Development Director, again, Mr. Holden Murray. He wears a lot of hats. So let's give them an applause and welcome them today. Thank you. Today's luncheon sponsors are our annual elite sponsors, Bayou Bend Health System and the Chitimacha Tribe of Louisiana. We want to thank them for their support throughout the year. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the unsung heroes of our organizations, our administrative assistants. Their contributions are invaluable, yet often go unnoticed in the daily hustle. We are thrilled to recognize Elodie Stewart as Administrative Assistant of the Month. As Executive Assistant to the St. Mary Parish School Board and the Office of the Superintendent, Elodie is an invaluable asset, consistently managing her responsibilities with efficiency, professionalism, and a positive attitude. I know I see that when I go to the school board office. She keeps operations running smoothly, handles sensitive information with discretion, and anticipates the needs of the board with remarkable skill. We received 3 glowing nominations for Elodie, truly a testament to the impact she has. Her dedication, loyalty, and unwavering commitment to excellence make her a perfect example of an Administrative Assistant of the Month. Congratulations, Mrs. Elodie Stewart. Please come forward to receive this well-deserved token of appreciation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first would like to say I'm very honored and blessed to receive this award, and a very special thanks to everyone that came out, my board members in the back, superintendent, my husband, my daughter, and co-workers. Thank you all very much.
Elodie brings everybody out, including the paparazzi, to tell she's that popular. We are proud to recognize Darnell, Sykes, and Frederick, CPAs, as our Business of the Month. 75 years of service isn't a small feat. This firm has long been a cornerstone of Louisiana's accounting community while making a lasting impact in St. Mary Parish and beyond. We know firsthand that their commitment goes far beyond financial services. Darnell, Sykes, and Frederick consistently support local initiatives, chamber events, and community programs demonstrating unwavering dedication to the growth and prosperity of the parish. This recognition reflects their enduring legacy, community-minded spirit, and the positive difference they continue to make locally and across Louisiana. Darnell Sykes and Frederick CPAs truly embodies the spirit of excellence and community engagement. Congratulations. We would like to welcome John Armato, the president of the firm, to please come forward to receive your plaque.
I want to thank the Chamber, but, you know, we've really had a great relationship with the Chamber. We see the great benefits that the Chamber provides for our area. So I think for the last 20 years, we've had an employee, part of the board, usually a version of the treasurer, serving. Alyssa's been serving for, at least 5 years. So before her, Barbara Watts served, and the Chamber was very important to her. So we've also had a few of our employees participate in Leadership St. Mary, and y'all really are doing a great job with the Chamber, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and I can tell you that Alyssa is doing a great job as our treasurer, and hopefully she stays with us for 20 years at least. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker. Christy Zeringue serves as the president and CEO of COLAB, formerly known as South Louisiana Economic Council, bringing over 30 years of experience in regional economic development. She has dedicated her career to fostering growth, collaboration, and innovation across the Bayou region. Prior to her current role, she was COO at COLAB, where she played a pivotal role in strategic planning, workforce development initiatives, and building partnerships between businesses, local governments, and educational institutions. Her leadership has been instrumental in supporting established industries while pursuing new growth opportunities. Christy is a 2024 Leadership St. Mary graduate, further reflecting her commitment to strengthening the communities in which she serves. Her extensive experience, community involvement, and dedication to regional development make her a respected and influential leader in Louisiana's economic landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Christy Zeringue.
All right, thank you, Brady. So does that make the 2024 class the official last class of Leadership St. Mary, and now it is Ignite?
This year's the last.
This year is the last one. Okay, I was trying to get us some extra kudos.
But with the best class.
So I was in Leadership St. Mary with Holden. I see Greg Garisco. There's Tori. Who else was in that group? Who else? Anyone else?
Is anybody else here?
No one else here. Okay. Well, it was obviously the best class, as Holden said, but it was a great experience. I was really excited to kind of immerse myself in St. Mary Parish, and I recommend that everyone does a leadership class, especially in your own parish, but then get out and do another in a different parish. It's really enlightening. It helps you grow professionally, and I would highly recommend that. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. As Brady said, we are now COLAB. After 35 years of South Louisiana Economic Council, we went through a rebrand at the beginning of the year. And COLAB does not stand for anything. I just want to let everyone know that a lot of people are trying to figure out what the acronym is. It doesn't stand for anything. It's truly about collaboration. We took out an L just to make you think about it for a minute, so, and confuse you. But yes, it's all about collaboration, regional collaboration. And I kind of get on a soapbox when I start talking about this because, you know, we looked at other regional economic development organizations. I'm sure you're familiar. And just to give you a little information, so LED, Louisiana Economic Development, says there's 8 regional economic development organizations in the state. COLAB is one of them. You've heard of One Acadiana, GNO Inc., BRAC. All of those other organizations have a great response within their communities and regions of pulling everyone together. That's my main goal, is for us to act as a region. So when we start talking about regional collaboration, I tend to get a little passionate about it, so just put up with me for a minute. But we're all about raising the entire Bayou region. Those 4 parishes that make up the Bayou region are Assumption, Lafourche, St. Mary, and Terrebonne parishes. So we need to all come together. We need to start writing our own narrative and telling our own story, and that's the most important thing. If you take away anything from this, that's what I want you to leave with. All right, you'll see a map of our area, the best region, in my opinion, in the entire state. But we are, like I said, we're like some of the other regionals, and my job is to promote each and every one of those parishes holistically together, and that's what I think that we've been doing since I started. But what does a regional EDO, or economic development organization, do? So we work very closely with LED, and we also work very closely with our local parish economic development office. So Evan Boudreau, who sent me a text with apologies that he was unable to be here today due to a medical appointment, but we work with the Evan Boudreaus of the other parishes as well. The main thing that I believe we all want to do is take care of the existing businesses first and foremost, because those are the backbones of the region, of the parishes. Yes, it's everyone's goal to bring in new businesses and new industries. Of course, I would love to say we got a meta, you know, like North Louisiana, but the reality is that doesn't happen every day. And new industries don't happen every day in the region. So we have to embrace what we do have and take care of what we do have. So we do focus on retaining and attracting businesses, but also talent, because we all know workforce development pipelines, there's a little bit of a bottleneck in there right now, and we really need to make sure that our businesses, when they are ready to grow or new businesses are ready to come in, that we have the workforce to help them with their growth. We also support regional assets and investors. We try to bring in site selectors. Site selectors, if you think about it, and I use this analogy a lot, athletes have agents. Well, companies who are looking to invest in other areas have site selectors. They're the agents for them to go out and kind of do the boots on the ground to find out which areas might best suit them. So we work a lot with site selectors, and then we also do a lot of advocacy efforts for infrastructure and policy, and basically for regional growth. So if I were to kind of sum up economic development for us, it's like a 4-legged stool. We have existing industry, we have potential new industry, we have workforce, and then the 4th is what we call quality of life or quality of place. And those are the things, it's your schools, it's your infrastructure, but it's also what we call the 3rd place. So if home is your first place, work is your 2nd place, where's your 3rd place? Is it a library? Is it a coffee shop? Is it a park? So we want to have more 3rd places in our region, because otherwise we know people are going to leave for other 3rd places. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about our team. I know you've seen Christian in this room, whether it's with Chapelai Intracoastal Coalition or with St. Mary Chamber. Christian is now in leadership, St. Mary. He was unable to be here today. We kind of divide and conquer a little bit. But I do have Alyssa. Alyssa is our finance and administrative coordinator. And also have Cody Blanchard. He is on the team for communications. So the two of them were able to come with me. But Christian and I, Christian's the COO. He came on just right after the beginning of the year. He was formerly with Congressman Garrett Graves' office, and it's nice to walk into a room and not have to introduce him to anyone. He probably knows more people than I do, so that works out nicely. But I've been saying that Christian and I have been drinking through a fire hose because we're trying to learn as much as we can about the region, and so I felt it was very important that after leadership that he definitely joined, and he's been enjoying the heck out of it. I know he's probably one of Trinisha's pets. He's everyone's pet, of course, but also we're trying to learn as much as we can about all of our partners. So Christian and I go on what's called business retention and expansion visits. So these are those existing industry visits. We go in typically with our local economic development office, and a lot of times someone from LED. We sit down and find out, what are your challenges? What things can we help with? What would you like to celebrate so that we can help tell the story in the region? And we've been doing that a lot in all 4 parishes. And then also Beth is helping to kind of get us in with Sola CC, because we don't know enough about them. So Christian and I are going to go and take a tour of their campus. We're familiar a little bit with Fletcher just because of proximity. I'm a Nichols alumni. I know what they're doing, but we want to make sure that we bring in all of the education partners so that we can know what's going on in the entire region. We're also going to be hiring a new team member. We're working on putting the job description together and getting the budget set for it, but this person is going to go to those business and industry visits and take notes, but then come back to them in 2 to 3 weeks with a plan of action for them. So it's not just, hey, we're here to see, how's it going? All right, everything's good, thanks, bye, and leave. It's, okay, you mentioned these 4 things. These are your challenges. So here's what I suggest. These are the programs that LWC has. Not only are we going to be giving them the contact, but we're going to say, here's the application, let me help you. I'm going to walk you through it. Same thing with LED. If they're a manufacturing company and they want to do a little bit of an expansion, well, here's the ITEP program. But let me help walk you through it. Here's your challenges. This is the hard part. There's a new, that used to be quality jobs, and now it's high impact jobs programs. So that if you're hiring new people, you can get money back from the state if you're paying just a little bit over the parish average per parish. So it's knowing all of those programs. It's working with the community colleges and the universities to know what they have going on, and then letting that company know, here's what I think might be able to help you, and I'm going to help walk you through it. So that's our next hire. All right, so what are we doing about workforce? So I grabbed some information off of our website. We have what's called Local Intel, and it's a program that we purchase, and then we give it to each of the 4 parish economic development offices to share on their website at no charge, and they can do the add-ons. But I just wanted to, I don't want to get in, this is a lot of data, and I know you can't really see it, but I just wanted to let you know that there's an area in there that shows the Bayou Region averages, the Bayou Region businesses and industries, the fastest growing, and then you can do there's also, you can look it up by parish. So you can do a Bayou Region comparison to a St. Mary comparison, or even Lafourche or Terrebonne. But all of that information is on our website, and then Evan has it on his as well. Just one of the things that I thought was interesting when I looked through that was that the largest industries in the Bayou region, if you can just go a little bit further, a little bit more, okay. So the largest industries in the Bayou region, restaurants and eating places, because we all like to go out to eat. But as you look down, further down the list, number 3 is support activities for water transportation, and 4 is general medical and surgical hospitals. If you go to the next slide and move from largest industries to fastest growing industries, number 3 and 4 then become number 1 and 2. So there's a huge bump up when you take a look at largest to fastest growing. All right, here we go. So I talked a little bit about local intel, and I would love for you to go to our website to take a look. So what are we doing about fostering growth? We have had some serious wins for the Bayou region lately. Brady and I were just talking a little bit earlier about, that was Mac. Mac and I were talking about Venture Global a little while ago. Well, I'm proud to say that we will have our own LNG plant right at the port of Fouchon, which is in the Bayou region, and we really want to talk about the Bayou region as a whole. So that is supposed to be coming. Well, Mac, if you remember exactly what Chet said. So yesterday, all of the port directors and I got together at the COLAB office, and we talked about some of the challenges and the wins and the updates for each and every port. And Mac shared that there are billions of dollars worth of work floating down the waters of St. Mary. And we were really excited to hear each other's. And then Chet talked about the LNG plant, and I don't remember the dates, but we are going to have Argent LNG coming online in the Bayou region in the next year to year and a half. So they are in the FERC process. They have gotten further along than any other LNG plant that has tried to do this in the Bayou region. So we're very hopeful that we'll be able to see something by the end of 27. We also have had a huge announcement in Terrebonne Parish with NeuroIO. So they're taking over the old Homa Courier building, and they're doing extensive neurological research, and even talked about doing some research as it relates to Alzheimer's. So I'm very excited about that, because it's unfortunate that our dementia and Alzheimer's rates are going up way too fast in the area. But that is another one of the Bayou region's wins. Specifically for St. Mary Parish, you guys know about Saronic. They bought Golfcraft, and in fact, we just had them at the Bayou Business Summit as one of the panelists, and they talked about the unmanned vessels that they're building for the Navy. The Marauder right now is being built. It's a 150-foot vessel, and it'll be completely unmanned, autonomous. And they're going to be building those for the Navy. They're trying to expand the footprint of Golfcraft so that eventually they'll be able to kick out one of those per day. What's also exciting is Metal Shark is also in the business of autonomous vessels, and they are already spitting out one vessel a day right here in St. Mary Parish. So exciting things are happening in the Bayou region, and that's where we come into play to start writing the narrative and sharing the stories. So when people ask you what's going on in St. Mary Parish, these are the things that we need to talk about. Mac, I know one of your soapboxes is when people say St. Mary or Morgan City is dead, and you're like, the heck it is. We are busier than ever, and those are the stories that we want to tell. All right, some of the accomplishments lately for COLAB. So I took over in October of last year, so not quite 1 year that I've been president and CEO. And we have determined that we do best with 3 events per year. We do one at Washington Mardi Gras, so that's on the federal level. We have an event that we host there. The federal delegation comes. Those from the Bayou region that attend Washington Mardi Gras come to that event. It's a great networking event, and it's a great way to get Washington, D.C. to talk about the Bayou region. We also do another event called the Bayou Region Day at the Capitol. Thank you for coming out for that one as well. But that's where we get all of the Bayou region together in one space, and we bring in the state delegation, and we're able to talk and network and, again, tell our story. And then our third is a regional event that we just did it in August. It was the Bayou Business Summit. We hosted it at Cypress Bayou Casino, and we had begun in Terrebonne and moved to Lafourche, and then did it this past year in St. Mary. And we thought we were going to move this around to a different parish each year. But I'm happy to say that we are keeping the Bayou Business Summit in St. Mary Parish. We've already booked it for next year for Cypress Bayou again. And we hope that you all are able to come out to that next year. We're reworking it, making some improvements. But for those that attended, I feel like it was a great event. The venue space worked perfectly. We talked about innovation. We talked about energy. We talked about the wins for the Bayou region. And I felt like everyone left there pretty uplifted. And again, on my soapbox, it's talking about the Bayou region as a whole. But we're more than just the 3 events, because we do the economic development side of things, the not so beautiful side of things. We do certified sites for the region. So in order to have a certified site, which is a plot of land that is shovel ready, there's a series of desktop analysis, wetlands analysis, all sorts of things that go into that. The regional office takes care of that for each of the parishes. And I'm proud to say that since I've been there, we were able to double the number of certified sites that we now have in the Bayou region. We're also working on our strategic plan that we just did 3 years ago. We're updating it, and we're aligning it with LED strategic plans so that it has more to do with innovation. We love our legacy industries. The shipbuilding and the oil and gas and service industries will forever be the backbone of the Bayou region. But we also need to pivot a little bit and to diversify. And a lot of those businesses are able to do some very innovative things with the same labor force that they have. So it's about maybe reskilling or upskilling a bit, but it's all about innovation in the Bayou region now, and so we're proud of those things that we're doing. And then the business retention and expansion visits that I talked about that we were able to do with the staff that we have, we were required to do 36 per year. And I'm happy to say that this was the first year, this last fiscal year was the first year that we were ever able to meet that goal. And I think bringing on another person is going to be helpful even more to meeting more goals for our business retention and expansion. So now we are in the room and we are at the table and we are trying to make a difference. We also started the first Bayou Region CEO Roundtable. So LED does CEO Roundtables in the other regions throughout the state, and the Bayou region was never able to have enough people to pull together to have their own CEO Roundtable. We've already gone through one and graduated a class, and we're on our second cohort of the Bayou Region CEO Roundtables. The first was a group of 12 men, and now we have 14 CEOs, 4 of which are females, so it's very exciting. They start typically in July and go for 10 months. If there's no delays or hurricanes, they get to graduate a little bit earlier, but we leave a little bit of cushion in there. And it's just a great way to have CEOs of businesses who are in the growth stage to come together and talk about some of the things that they can help each other with, a lot of the same challenges. One thing I do want to mention is CTAC. That's our Coastal Technical Assistance Center. That's housed in COLAB's office and managed by COLAB. And what CTAC does is they take the coastal projects of Louisiana and match them with Louisiana companies so that our coastal protection and restoration projects are not being taken from, a firm or a construction company in Rhode Island. We want all of this to stay local. And then we also have the Energy Task Force that I wanted to highlight. We have Lori LeBlanc, who is all things energy for COLAB, and she is the one that set up the meeting just yesterday where Mac and the other port directors came and sat around a table to discuss the things that were issues to them and things that they wanted to highlight in the area. All right, just to wrap it up, these are our priorities here that we at COLAB find are most important. First and foremost, the existing industries. We do a lot of work in the workforce development space with all of our partners, the certified sites, legislative priorities, whether that's flood protection, insurance, infrastructure, and then, not to get on the soapbox again, but one region and one voice, because we are stronger as one. And I did want to say that this past year has shown that we're not the same organization that we were 30 years ago. We're proud of what we were able to accomplish. We've only just begun, and we're in a growth stage ourselves, not just growing our team, but growing our value and growing the trust of everyone in the communities. So we are moving forward. We have fresh energy and some of the results that you've seen to prove it. So I am happy to take any questions from you, to sit down personally and meet with any of you. We'd love to add you to our existing industry list so that we can go out and speak one-on-one with you. But if you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer any.
If I was trying to attract an employer to St. Mary, what would be the biggest advantage I have and what would be the biggest disadvantage?
The coast and the coast, I think. We have great waterways, we have great ports in the Bayou region, but that's also, here we are in September, still keeping our fingers crossed with any hurricane or flooding activity that we have. It's also a little challenging when it comes to insurance in our area, which is one of the things that we're advocating for. Depending on what type of business it is, I would say that we have a skilled workforce in this area that can adapt to many different things with some of our legacy industries and welding in particular. And then we have a lot of higher education partners too that we can lean on to help reskill and upskill the talent that we have. Anyone else? Great.
Right?
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Christy, for those updates. And on behalf of the Chamber and all of St. Mary Parish, we would like to thank COLAB for bringing the Bayou Business Summit to St. Mary Parish. Several of us attended. It was a really good summit, and we do encourage all of you to consider attending next year. Also, Beth, if you don't mind, I'd like to go off script for just a second. Thank you. It was such an honor for several of us with the St. Mary Chamber of Commerce to represent you, the Bayou region in Washington, D.C. a few weeks ago. Beth and I, our spouses, J.P. Henry, our board member, one of our board members. I see Hillary with the South Central Industrial Association. We had a great time. I was also honored to make presentations on behalf of the Port of Morgan City to share with them the great things that are going on here. And you can go on our social media, the St. Mary Chamber of Commerce Facebook page for updates. You can see what went on. And she mentioned Meadow Shark. Just a quick update or example how St. Mary Parish is represented. My wife and I took a water taxi tour on the Potomac River, and those water taxis, there were 4 of them. Every one of them were built right here at Meadow Shark, and there's a plaque that said Meadow Shark, Franklin, Louisiana, and I was happy to brag to everyone on the boat that I could to represent St. Mary Parish. So we are well represented. So again, thank you all for joining us today and providing us with updates. Before we conclude, I will turn it over to our president, Beth Chasson, to provide you with a few updates and to close out.
I'm just gonna take it off. Thank you again for taking your time out to be with us today, and of course for your continued support of the Chamber. Special thanks again to our lead sponsors, Bayou Bend Health System and the Chitimacha Tribe of Louisiana. Thank you, Christy, for joining us and giving us updates on all things COLAB. Our October events calendar is in the back on your way out. You can grab it. It does not look like a regular calendar because there are far too many events happening in October for it to fit on a regular calendar. Every Saturday in October has minimum 6 events probably happening across the parish. So pick up one of those calendars. If I've missed